Hey everybody and happy Halloween. It is late October. Nope, it's October 4th. It is not late October. Hello, I am Odyssey, and this is the first time you've seen me on YouTube. Well, maybe you saw me playing the ukulele originally, and I guess that makes sense, but this is the first time I've done a long-form video. We are covering a type of cryptid, not just any cryptid. They're called fearsome critters. I'm thinking Halloween, fearsome critters. That seems up my alley. It covers forestry, and I don't know. I just really like these and wanted to get more into them. The Hodag is a fearsome critter similar to a moose with an extensive upper lip preventing it from grazing and jointless legs preventing it from laying down. This unfortunate animal was named after a kazoo-like wooden instrument, also known as a Hodag. Though in my weird headcanon, they saw the Hodag and that was the sound they made when they reacted to seeing such an uncanny creature. The most prominent portrayal of a Hodag was in the 1910 Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods, written by William Cox. The earliest thing I could find on the Hodag was in 1861, but likely the lumber workers have been talking about the Hodag for many years before that. The Hogag's jointless legs force it to sleep standing up, because if the Hodag were ever to topple over or fall over, the Hodag would perish. I have said Hodag way too many times. This had led to particularly keen hunters hunting the Hodag to notch the trees in hopes that when it leaned against a tree to take a rest, the weakened tree would fall over and the Hodag would be caught. Its large upper lip made it completely incapable of browsing. For those who are not in the know, browsing is what most ungulates do. That's hoofed animals, moose, deer. The Hodag instead chews the bark off of trees, preferring the pulp. The Hogag's existence was likely to describe a process we now know as gestalt, which is where wind will blow a tree and the tree will grow in the direction of the wind. This is an old Scottish word. If you've ever seen a gestalt tree, they're weird. They don't look like they should have normally grown that way. It's understandable that people from the 1800s needed an explanation for it. The slide rock bolter. It's got a weird way of hunting. It throws itself down a mountain at whale-neck speeds and gobbles its prey up in its large mouth. I believe this was to explain avalanche paths, a area you see on a mountain where it looks bare and rocky, and often there's very young trees. This could serve as a warning, because you don't want to travel along an avalanche path in the winter, because of potential avalanches. And if you see an avalanche path and you are traveling down it, you want to be very careful, because there's risk involved. This landfish is also supposedly weighing 25,000 pounds, with fins and a hooked caudal fin. It also has 3 chitinous razor-sharp tooth gizzards, and is vulnerable to leprosy. The slide rock bolter is an apex predator, and despite its destructive habits, its behavior is also used to scare away other predators hunting in Colorado, such as wolves, spider wolves, other wolves, Frenchmen, and renegade Hodag. The scientific name is
Macrostoma saxoperumptus.
the Hodag. According to the Rylander The Hodag. According to the Rylander Chamber of Commerce. Why is that word so hard to say? According to the Rylander Chamber of Commerce, some say the Hodag is the fiercest, strangest, most terrifying monster ever to set its razor-sharp claws on this earth. Others describe the Hodag as a reclusive woodland creature, misunderstood by many, and only wanting to be left alone in the woodland paradise that is Rylander area. That is a direct quote from the Rylander Chamber of Commerce. The Hodag is a bull-horned carnivore with a row of thick curved spines down its back. The Hodag was said to be born from the ashes of cremated oxen, as the incineration of the accumulation of the abuse of the animals had suffered at the hands of their masters. this history of the Hodag is strongly tied to Ryolander, Wisconsin. I like to think that this is a wise tale, teaching you not to abuse animals even if you don't think they have feelings, which was something very common at the time. Listen to me. Listen to me. Oxen have feelings. Don't hurt the oxen, or they will come and murder you. Also, people are petting bison. Don't do that. They're wild animals. They will mess you up. They look cuddly. Don't pet them. Now, this next one, while we're talking about fearsome critters, we need to understand that there's over 300 fearsome critters. And that's just the ones that we know of today. There likely was more. This was a oral tradition that existed in the lumberyards for hundreds of years. We're going to talk about the Dingbat, which is something you may have actually heard about, but never knew where it came from. The Dingbat honestly explains people like my brother. When we're playing FPS games, my brother will hit a guy, miss all his shots, and blame them on hacking, because of course he hit. Now, usually from my perspective, I watched him whiff all his shots. The Dingbat was made up by the hunter that was a terrible shot. The Dingbat has the ability to grab bullets out of the air and consume them. The Dingbat is also responsible for drinking gasoline outside of hunters' vehicles. The Dingbat can also be described as a hunter who forgot to fill his tank before he went hunting, and who always whiffs their shot. The Splinter Cat is a fearsome critter from the Great Lakes region. This cat will headbutt trees as fast as it can to break them apart, so it can get its prey, porcupines, woodpeckers, and other small tree-bearing mammals. They leave broken, sharded trees behind. I believe this was to explain lightning strikes on trees. If you've seen a tree that has been lightning struck, it has been splintered apart. It also would cause a loud bang. And when foresters would see trees destroyed in this manner, outside of the context of a thunderstorm, they would need to explain it some way. Hence the Splinter Cat. That concludes the video. If there's any fearsome critters that I didn't talk about, please feel free to talk about them in the comments. I want to make more videos like this, so you could like, share it, do all the normal YouTube stuff. I also stream on Twitch. We do gaming content and not really like folklore, but you know, you can always ask me about folklore or the outdoors in general. I don't really have an outro for this, so bye. Odyssey out.